Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. Guys, it's the 12th of January, 2015. Wasn't planning to make the day for these videos be Monday. However, just been a really wild week at work. For anybody who lives anywhere in the, upper Midwest, Pennsylvania, New England, knows the weather we've had. It wasn't the cold that was the problem, it was the snow, because it was getting blown around by the wind that was making it cold. It was effectively making it impossible to see where you were going most of the time for the majority of the week, from about Tuesday to Friday. It was quite some interesting driving, and I'm knock on wood that I'm still here, but because a lot of people didn't quite make the drive. There was quite a bit of carnage out on the freeways the last week, so we're still here. We'll get this video out. Say the week there was nothing. There have been no kits released in the month of January as of yet. It is a national holiday in Japan. Well, it isn't anymore because now it's like 7 in the morning Tuesday there. But happy coming of age day to anyone watching who happens to be of that persuasion. Is a national holiday that celebrates the 20th birthday of anyone who's going to turn 20 this year, and that is the coming of age in Japan, where you're allowed to drink and vote and all sorts of stuff like that. So big celebration over there. Everything was closed. I wish I could get this kind of work schedule where I was off for 7-10 days and then worked 5 days and then was off again. So I don't have that. Today was my day off, and shortly after we put this video up, we'll be going back to work for another week of moving the mail around. So like I said, there's no kits have come out. There's one thing that came out sort of while over Christmas rush that I did not see because it was not on the slate of things that was supposed to come out. And I one of the very few times I'll ever have a box art photo for a domestic kit, because usually I figure you guys can find those in your own hobby shops or on the websites for the manufacturers. However, Round 2, under the auspices of MPC, put out a 1974 Ford Econoline van 4x4 in 1/20th scale. This is the old, the van kits came out in a bunch of different names. However, this one is the Hijacker. This is a photo of the actual obvious box. Made in the United States. I'm assuming the 1/20th tooling was never sent over to China for obvious reasons, because nobody figured it would ever get run again until, Round 2 bought everything out a couple years ago. This is kind of an interesting vehicle. It cannot be built stock because while it has the stock wheel covers, you can't build it as a two-wheel drive. It only comes with this jacked up Hijacker four-wheel drive chassis setup. It also has no rear bumper from reading various people's reviews of it. It comes with a really bunch of interesting 1970s-esque things that I'm surprised they've managed to still release, because like this thing comes with a arrow quiver, a thermos, has a bed and a fireplace in the back. It is a jacked up shaggin' wagon, for lack of a better terms. It's a really neat piece of kit Americana, if you want to call it that. There's nothing different about the kit. If you actually have one of these already, you don't need a new one, I suppose. It has new decals. They're obviously they're not Xeroxes of the old ones. But other than that, the kit was released, I believe, as a stock 1974 van, and then it was made into this four-wheel drive version afterwards. And it, like I said, it can only be built this four-wheel drive way because that's where the tooling is parked. No word if the two-wheel drive tooling for it actually even exists anymore in a serviceable manner, but the retro deluxe part of this is the box art, being 1970s box art, and the first time it's been available since the 1970s. So this kit is 3 years older than I am, and it's about 40 years then since the last time the kit was actually on the market. So it's a neat little conversation piece. It is an odd scale 1/20th. It would match your 1/20th AMC AMX if you purchase one of those, or if you have any of the just lean the right way, any of those 1/20th scale Lindbergh kits that are in that last column behind my head there. But other than that, like I said, there's no kits actually came out. That came out, the kit, that MPC kit came out like on the 14th of December or so. And we didn't mention it because I didn't realize it was out there. I don't really hang out in the truck forum section of one of the major internet forums that this was brought up on. and there's no listing for it on Round 2's website, and so I missed it, and so there it is. And we just did the January video yesterday, so you already know everything you need to know about January. No kits have come out, so that brings us up to the new stuff that was just announced Wednesday from Aoshima. None of this is new, but it is all the spot runs that they're going to do for February. So this is going to be quite a little list here. They're being optimistic. Usually when we get these big lists, they tend to, then linger forever. The Loctite number 41 F1 McLaren F1 GTR Longtail kit is supposed to come out in February. It now has a February release date. Also, on the spot run side of things, you got the Initial D Toyota 86 Truno Volume 1. This is the very basic beginning of the comic series kit that has none of the optional engine parts, none of the optional racing parts. It's just a straight Toyota 86 Truno with the Initial D decals and stuff like that. Then you have the Initial D Truno 86 Volume 37 kit. This is the end kit of the series. Basically, it's the one that has all of the racing parts, the roll cage, the racing seats, all of the optional engine parts, I think it comes with 3 different sets of valve covers, basically, 2 different sets of exhaust, several different sets of intakes. So it's if you're looking to get the most bang for your buck, if you were out of one of those Truno kits, that's probably the place to go. Also, the Initial D Mazda RX-7 FC3S is coming out. Did not write down whose character that is, but if you're familiar with the Initial D series, you know what that is. The 1970 Skyline 2000 GT 4-door. It's a PCG 10 as far as the chassis, generation goes. I believe this is a Best Car Vintage kit. The Skylines are never called the Best Car Vintage kit. They're always like the 5th Skyline, the 2nd Skyline, the number of generations they were. But this is an old motorized kit. A Nissan GTR Spec V. This is an R35, so this is like the current Nissan GTR. The Spec V was a car that was only available in Japan, so it is only right-hand drive car. It is kind of a neat little kit. I have one, but like I said, it's not left-hand drive, and it's not available here in North America. Trying to go with the drawer buzzer go. I know you guys can't hear it, but I can. The London Black Cab is making another run around. This is, of course, the old IME tooling. This 1/22nd scale in reality. The Liberty Walk Ken and Mary the 2014 edition two-door sedan, two-door Skyline coupe is coming back. This is one that just got issued a couple months ago, so it's getting another run. They sold out, so the Liberty Walk kits have been very successful for Aoshima. Getting another run of the Aventador Roadster, which means the Roadster is sold out. Another run of the Aventador LP 704. This one is the JDM version of the kit. Now, it's not like a JDM version of the car, but anybody who remembers when the kit came out 2-3 years ago, there was a JDM version and an export version. And the export version had a very simplified engine. It was like 4 pieces. I think it came with the photo etch set for it as being a bonus to pay for the increased cost of not purchasing it through like HobbyLink Japan or Hobby Search. However, the JDM kit, the kit that was designed to be sold in Japan, and what the kit you got from HobbyLink Japan if you bought it and imported it yourself, had like a 16-part engine. So this is the one with the engine. Both these kits being run out in advance of the fact that they're running off parts to make this new 50th anniversary Aventador, which we'll talk about in a second. The JZX100 Toyota Chaser, the Cunny Z sort of tuners-esque drift car is coming back around again. Reissue of the HC R32 Skyline 4-door GTS Turbo Type M. This is an older style chassis. It is like a motorized style chassis. However, it does come with an RB20 DET engine insert, and it's a 4-door. It's one of the only 4-door Skyline kits out there of any kind of new generation. There is, of course, the I guess that would be an R34, the Urace drifting tuner 4-door Skyline that Aoshima also put out. But usually all your other 4-door Skyline kits are earlier ones. They're the like the C110 and the PGC10, like 2nd, 3rd generation Skylines. Also doing another run of the 2010 Subaru WRX STI, another run of the 2007 WRX STI June tuning shop version. That's the yellow tuner version of the box art. They put out the 2007 kit in two different ways. There's one with a white car and a box art with like not chrome but alloy rims, and then one in World Rally Blue with the gold rims that you'd associate with like the World Rally Subaru series. That was the optional wheel kit that I have, and then they released it in the June tuner series, and then there's another tuner house. I can't remember which one. One was blue, one was yellow. It's the yellow car that you're getting on this one. They're bringing back the Machine X. This is the Saibu Kisatsu series car. It's a Toyota. It's a Nissan Skyline 2000 GT Turbo C210, which makes it, I believe, a fourth generation Skyline at that point. I have a picture of it. For some reason, I didn't load it into my photo viewer here, so we'll hang on for a second while we are proven to be ill-prepared once again for a video. I actually went and found a picture of the car itself because I wanted to talk about the car, as being, what it is as the car, because it appears that all of the stock parts are in this release, because the actual car as it is, here we go. Whoops, I meant to hit pause, not the actual car as you see it here. This is the Saibu Kisatsu Skyline. This is what the kit is. Obviously, it's got a little red Kojak light up on top there, and the kit interior comes with a whole bunch of like computer parts and a camera and a big goofy searchlight that you hang out the driver's window. Well, will be the driver's window for us. It's actually the passenger window in Japan. But it comes with this set of like gold, not really snowflake rims, but this set of gold rims and those decals. This is actually a 1/1 version of the cartoon car is what you're looking at on the screen. But it comes with all the stock interior parts, and it appears to have all the other stock parts to make a regular 2000 GT Turbo Skyline. I don't know that the regular factory stock version is available with those rims necessarily, but it appears that all the rest of the parts are there. It is, again, the Skyline kits are in that whole series where they're the 7th Skyline, the 8th Skyline, or whatever, and they don't have the Best Car Vintage GT label attached. But this is, again, another formerly motorized chassis car. It does still have its battery box and its carrier for the electric motor and all that fun stuff. And then you have 4 sets of wheels that are supposed to be coming out this month. These are all reissues of wheels that came out over the summer. Graham Lights 57 Extreme, Volk Racing TE 37 RTs, Work Emotion CR Kiwamis, and Workmeister S1s. And that, guys, is what Aoshima has released for February. We talked about it in the January video real quick. I'll mention it again since it's sort of new news this week. The pre-orders are up for the Studio 27 carbon fiber set for the Alfa Romeo 155 Ti V6 DTM race car. No word on the actual kit being reissued, but it has to be coming, because why else would you issue a set of $28 decals for a $100 out-of-production kit? Also in that sort of genre of indicating something might be coming, KA Models, which is a Korean-based company that makes a lot of photo etch. They make a lot of the in-kit photo etch you get out of Fujimi kits. Was working on and doing a set of photo etch and resin parts for the Fujimi Enthusiast Series Porsche 356 Carrera BC cars. I think the kit is like the actual photo is just generic to work with either the convertible or the coupe. But those kits have been out of production for a while now. I think in mid-'80s might have been the last time those old Volkswagen-based Porsche Carreras were actually put out. They might have come out recently since then, but I can't find any time. Every time I look at the kits on eBay, they all say, issue date 1988. So if they've come out since then, I can't find any. But that doesn't mean anything because Fujimi tends to release their kits with the same box art over and over again, so you can't really easily tell which version it is without seeing the instructions and the box's copyright date. But again, KA hasn't updated their website since November, so I don't know what the status is with this photo etch set. It's certainly never come up for a pre-order on any of the Japanese-based websites. or the Hobby Easy, which is Hong Kong, not Korean based, but they would carry pretty much everything that Hobby Link Japan doesn't carry, because they sort of carry globally, well beyond Hobby Link Japan's reach sometimes. Because Hobby Link Japan, for example, doesn't carry pit wall decals, which is a French company, but Hobby Easy does. But there's no mention of this photo etch resin set anywhere, so I don't know if it's just something they're working on in-house and decided not to make, or they're going to release at some point in the future. But what that would indicate to me would be a reissue of those Porsche Carrera kits would be great, because those Carrera kits are going for a small fortune on eBay. Even when you can find the Testers Reeboks versions that a lot of people don't realize are the Enthusiast Series kits, people have figured that out now, and those kits are starting to go for a fairly good chunk of change too. But why would you work on a very comprehensive? I mean, it looks like it's about 50, 75 pieces all total between the photo etch and the resin. Why would you work on such a comprehensive detail upset for a kit that no one can get a hold of unless they're willing to shell out nearly $100 for it by the time you figure shipping? So, is it going to be reissued? I don't know. We haven't gotten, we'll probably find out next week after, maybe. Probably not this week we're in right now, but next week, after Martin Luther King Day. We'll find out what Fujimi's spot runs are for February. We've got, some kits that already exist because they're in that Circle Wolf series, but the spot runs haven't been announced. So, maybe it'll be in there. Maybe it'll be sometime during the year. Maybe it's just a fanciful thing and it'll never come out. It's hard to tell with Fujimi. They really do not tip their hand at all as to what's going on. So that brings us to March. March of 2015 is when the official release date has been set for the Aoshima Aventador 50th Anniversario car. This kit is going to be primarily a reissue of the Aventador Coupe with a new front bumper area, entirely new rear area as far as the entire rear bumper, the rear diffuser, the rear vents and stuff like that, as well as some interior pieces. There's some photos that Aoshima posted on their blog I want to share with you here real quick. Appears to be Sascha Mueller was doing the build-ups for these, because this kit, along with some other stuff, is going over to the Nuremberg Toy Fair for next week. But you see the black parts on this kit in these next two pictures. The black parts are the new thing. So here you see the new front end of the new front diffuser. The wheels themselves aren't new; they are from the Aventador Roadster. And then, of course, here's the back end here with the new rear vent area and the new rear diffuser. There are also a bunch of new interior parts, which are shown here. You got a new roof, a new center console, new door panels, or as Elliot likes to call them, door cards. There's like a new steering wheel, new seats. They all have that sort of diamond tuck pattern, for lack of a better term. And then here's a picture of it all put together. So you see that one sort of flat piece that was in the other one is right there behind the seats. So that's what they're making. So it's not totally impossible that kit will actually come out on time in March, because it's, like I said in the January video when we talked about this very briefly without the pictures, there's like 15 new pieces. The biggest challenges will, of course, be getting the door panels to fit the doors, so the doors open and close like they're supposed to, which shouldn't be that big a problem. I mean, they should be the same overall dimension as the existing doors from the original kit. However, make sure that the new tooling doesn't interfere, and then making sure the front and rear diffuser bumper areas fit the old kit, because the body is unchanged itself, and then the chassis, the engine, all that will all be the same as it was in the last kit as well. Like I said, just the black stuff and those interior pieces are all this new. So it's 97% straight reissue with some new parts, but still neat to have. You wouldn't see. Oh, I don't want to pick on Revell, but they're the biggest American kit company. You wouldn't see Revell put out a very nuanced reissue of a kit like that. If they're going to do the closest thing that Revell has ever done to a nuanced reissue are the 4 or 5 kits they did of the 2006 to 2008 Mustangs, where they did it as a GT, and then the Hertz car, and then the GT 500, and then the KR kit, and there's one more in there, the Bullet Mustang. That's the closest you've come to having any American kit company do a very nuanced, every single model of the car that we can make thing. And I don't know. I thought those Mustangs seemed to sell somewhat well. I have all 5 of them, so they couldn't have sold that bad. Usually, when you get me to buy, everything in a series from Revell, that's a sign that everybody has bought them, because I'm not the biggest supporter of those guys. Although those Mustang kits were really good. Can't say a word about those things that are bad, other than the somewhat 4x4 stance you get straight out of the box, and the fact that the wheels and tires are too small. But that's a Revell thing with every kit they issue, and not anything to do with that Mustang in particular. But guys, that's where we're at. Japan will be open for business here in a couple of hours. We'll see what comes along here. I know the Fujimi's, most of Fujimi's reissues are supposed to come out this week. Some will be out Thursday. The rest will be out on Friday, and then we'll see what's coming for February. It's interesting little pause of action here. I was really surprised there was no kit issues of any kind at all this week. I figured there would be several things, fired out, even if they were just reissues, from everybody being off for a week. But that was not what happened. So we'll see what comes along for the rest of the month here, guys. Anyway, enjoy your coming of age, and we'll see you on the other side.